What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back. And folks, there's something you should know about me. I love tier lists. I almost love them as much as I love top 10 lists. Almost. I even considered changing my name to Top Tier Pokemon at one point. I did not, obviously, but the point is, I love tier lists. So today I will be doing a tier list of every single set from the Scarlet and Violet era, as well as Mega Evolutions and Phantasmal Flames, just for fun, those last two. I know they're not Scarlet and Violet sets, but I will be including them as well. And folks, tier lists are very subjective. I'm sure yours will be different from mine. Maybe yours will be similar, I don't know, but they are very subjective. So I hope you enjoy my opinions today. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It helps support the channel tremendously. So that's it. Let's get into it, starting off with the Scarlet and Violet base set. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you know my feelings about modern base sets. Let's take a quick look at the Scarlet and Violet cards. These are the top 6 to 9 most expensive cards from the set. And as you can see, Gardevoir EX, the special illustration rare, is the most expensive, most valuable, most sought after card in this set, selling as a PSA 10, I think for around 200 bucks. But when you look at the other cards, they're all, well, not all of them, but a lot of the other ones, the more expensive ones, are illustration rares. And then you have the Miraidon and Koraidon cards down here, and they're just not very popular. I mean, you have the Drowsy IR, which I'm not sure why it got as popular as it did. I don't have much faith in that card. So yeah, the Scarlet and Violet base set has always been lacking in my opinion. So for that reason, I will be putting it in the C tier list. Up next, we have Paldea Evolved. Let's take a look at the Paldea Evolved cards list here, folks. The problem with Paldea Evolved is the entire set almost hinges on one card, and that is the illustration rare Magikarp. And look at that market price, $284 for this Magikarp. Now don't get me wrong, the Tyranitar is quite expensive, and the Raichu as well. But after those three cards, it kind of just falls flat. You got a bunch of new Pokemon that nobody knows about or cares about. I mean, you got the Iono SIR, which is decent, but yeah, these three cards up here are really leading the way for this set. And the problem with illustration rares leading the way is that they have a significantly higher pull rate than that of, let's say, a special illustration rare. So anyway, let's go back to the list here. I feel, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because a lot of people glaze Paldea Evolved. I'm going to put it at the tippy top of the B tier list. Now, in a perfect world, folks, if I was a multimillionaire, I would invest in pallets and pallets of all these sets. I would not care. I would just buy pallets of everything, but I have a certain amount of money I'm able to spend on Pokemon cards, so I got to make sure it counts. And Paldea Evolved, I would definitely pick up a few booster boxes of it. No doubt. I would not pick up any Scarlet and Violet base. Up next, we have Obsidian Flames, a set that I've always thought was tremendously underrated. Let's take a look at the cards here. So we've got the first 9 cards here. You obviously got the Charizard EX SIR, beautiful card. However, the illustration rares are also quite awesome and expensive, especially this Ninetales IR. Very beautiful card and quite expensive. You have Gloom and Scizor down there. You got a bunch of other Charizards, so there are a lot of recognizable Pokemon in this set. It has a nice, healthy balance of SIRs and IRs that do quite well. However, I'm going to go back to the tier list here, and I am going to put this puppy in front of Paldea Evolved for one reason. For one reason now. It is the Charmander Black Star promo that you get out of the Obsidian Flames ETB. If it wasn't for that, I would probably put Obsidian Flames behind Paldea Evolved, but that is easily the best promo and the most expensive promo thus far in Scarlet and Violet in terms of ETB promos. So yeah, the Charmander promo is just S tier. But yeah, I've always thought Obsidian Flames was underrated, so I'm going to put it at the high B as well. Here we have Scarlet and Violet 151. I mean, I can't say anything that's not already been said about this set. But for the heck of it, let's take a look at the cards here. I mean, just look at that. Just tons of awesome pulls you can get from this set. All these Mews and Charizards and Blastoids and Venusaurs and Charmanders and Squirtles, The list goes on and on, folks. There are just so many amazing hits in this set. It's going to be tough to dethrone this as one of the best modern sets of all time. So to me, that's an easy S tier pick. Up next, we have Paradox Rift. I'm going to put Paradox Rift right behind Paldea Evolved. I feel like Paradox Rift is a little bit underrated. Let's take a look at the cards here. So much like the Obsidian Flames set, this set has a nice mixture of SIRs and illustration rares that are quite valuable. You have the Groudon, which has been doing very well, especially as a PSA 10. The Roaring Moon, the Altaria, the Garchomp, all very good cards. Even the Iron Valiant is not too bad. But yeah, I would not say it is better than Paldea Evolved, but it definitely has a lot going for it, so it's going in the B tier. Up next, we have Paldean Fates. This one's tricky. I feel like it should go in either the S tier or the A tier. For right now, this is subject to change, I'm going to put it in the high A tier spot. So let's take a look at the cards here. Let's try to justify this. So if we take a look here, of course, you got the iconic Bubble Mew. I think this will go down as one of the greatest modern cards of all time, as well as the Charizard EX, which has been picking up steam as well. The Gardevoir EX is very expensive. And then you have these baby shinies like the Pikachu, the Snorlax, the Charmander. You got this full art Mew. So there's a lot going for this set, especially the giant lineup of shiny cards that you get as well. So yeah, I'm not going to put it in the S tier quite yet, but it's definitely a strong A tier in my opinion. I think if you see any Paldean Fates ETBs that are reasonably priced, you should pick them up all day. Up next, we have Temporal Forces. Temporal Forces and Paradox Rift are like neck and neck to me. They're so similar in terms of their value, I feel. I'm going to put it right behind Paradox Rift. I don't know if I should put it in front of or behind it, but let's take a look at the cards here. I think Temporal Forces is another very underrated set. If we take a look here, you have these ancient and futuristic cards that are quite awesome. The Ghastly IR is amazing. You've got a full art Gengar there. I mean, it's nothing special in terms of illustration, but it's still there. Here's the problem with Temporal Forces. Here's why I'm a little more reserved about it. And it's that they left out the big name Pokemon in the names. You know, we have Raging Bolt EX and Gouging Fire and Walking Wake. And I always think, how awesome would it be to keep the original names of these Pokemon, but put Ancient before them. Ancient Raikou, Ancient Entei EX, Ancient Suicune, Future Virizion, or whatever. I think that would have been better and also still kept the uniqueness of this set in terms of having ancient and futuristic Pokemon. I don't know. What do you think about that? I just think that renaming these Pokemon their ancient names is cool, but it also hinders the collectability. I don't know. I've always been very reserved of that concept, so we're going to put this guy in the low B tier. Up next, we have Shrouded Fable. You know where that's going, in the trash tier list, because let's face it, there is nothing in Shrouded Fable. I'll pull up the list here. I mean, your best hit card right here on TCG Player is an item card. That's the big hit in this set. Followed by a Pheasantipede, which we have no idea what that even is. Yeah, you got some IRs down there like Persian and Houndoom, but that's pretty much it, man. This set, you can't justify this being an S tier set by any means. Yeah, no thank you. We will keep that in the bottom of the list, folks. All right, up next we have Twilight Masquerade. Now, Twilight Masquerade I'm going to put right behind Paldea Evolved. I think it's better than Paradox Rift and Temporal Forces, but not quite up to Paldea Evolved. Let's take a look at the cards from Twilight Masquerade. See, we have the Greninja EX, which is an awesome card. I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's pretty awesome, very unique. You have a couple of very expensive full art trainers, and you have a full art Eevee there, or an Eevee IR, if you will, along with a IR Chansey, and you have a couple other interesting IR cards down there as well. But the set hinges too much, in my opinion, on Greninja, which is an amazing card, but you want to have some other pulls there to make it a little bit more exciting. I'm not going to talk about the reprints of these because one day none of these sets will be reprinted, so we're not going to talk about the reprints just the cards and the collectability and just investability, really. So yeah, Twilight Masquerade, I think, is the middle B tier set. Up next, we have Stellar Crown. Now, back in, what was that? Summer of 2024, they hit us with Shrouded Fable, which was like a big, stinky poop rag to the face. And then right after that was Stellar Crown, which is a little bit better. I'm going to put Stellar Crown... I'm going to put it in between Scarlet and Violet base and Shrouded Fable. I like some things about Stellar Crown. Let's pull up the list here. You have the IR Squirtle and Bulbasaur, which are amazing, and I really like the Terapagos EX. I think that's a very unique card. But after that, there's just not much in this set. Those are the three main cards. Yeah. So Stellar Crown didn't do a whole lot better than Shrouded Fable. I'm going to give it a step up, but still put it in the C tier. Up next, we have Surging Sparks. Pikachu themed set. I think it has to go in the bottom of the A tier. Let's take a look at some of the cards on Surging Sparks here. Of course, you got the SIR Pikachu EX. I think it's an amazing card. You have the SIR Latios EX, the Milotic, a couple other awesome Pikachu cards. So, I mean, you have the recognizability, if that's even a word, of Pikachu in this set, and a lot of them, and you have a lot of expensive SIRs and IRs, so I think that this is a very good set. I definitely don't think it's a S tier set, but I think it's a strong contender for the A tier slot. What do you think about Surging Sparks? Up next, we have Prismatic Evolutions, S tier set. I think this set gets a lot of hate, and I'm not sure why. Like, it's an Eevee themed set. We all knew that going into it, and it has a few other awesome cards in it as well. I think it's a very investable set, one of the most investable Scarlet and Violet sets. Let's just pull up the list here. I mean, take a look at the top 9 to 12 cards there. All special illustration rares, most of them Evolutions. You can't go wrong with the Evolutions, folks. Even the non-Evolutions are pretty awesome, like you have the Dragapult EX, the Cerulege. Yeah. Roaring Moon EX there. There's so many pulls. When you can get a box of cards like this and just name off all the pulls you would love to have, that makes for a great set, and that is Prismatic Evolutions. So that, in my opinion, is very deserving of the S tier. Not quite to the standard of 151, but close. All right, Journey Together. I think Journey Together is going to go to the bottom of the B tier list. When I first heard about this set, it didn't knock my socks off when I was seeing some of the cards, and also came out at a very hyped up period of time, which kind of made the set seem better than it is, I think. If we take a look here, let's see, Journey Together. I mean, you have a couple of cool cards in there. The Lily's Clefairy is pretty valuable, the Salamence EX. But a lot of these cards, just, I don't know. I just don't have a lot of faith in the long term of them. The Articuno is awesome. I wish we had an SIR Articuno in this set. That would have been amazing, but I don't know. I just see the prices of these cards. They have only gone down since the release. You haven't seen any of these like bounce up at any point. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Journey Together. I wouldn't say it's a bottom tier set, but it's definitely, I definitely would keep it on the lower end. Destined Rivals. I am going to put Destined Rivals right between Paldean Fates and Surging Sparks. I think it's an amazing set because it doesn't just have Mewtwo in it, folks. It has a bunch of other amazing cards. Let me pull it up here. Destined Rivals. So yeah, you got the Rockets Mewtwo EX. Beautiful $1,000+ card as a PSA 10. Cynthia's Garchomp is an amazing and expensive card. Ethan's Ho-Oh is doing very well. Team Rocket's Moltres, amazing. Yeah, so if you look down here, you have just a bunch of other awesome cards as well. This set has a lot going for it. I think it's definitely a strong A-tier set. And then lastly, for our Scarlet and Violet sets, we have the Blackbolt White Flare. Man. I am going to put Blackbolt White Flare right behind Paldea Evolved and right in front of Twilight Masquerade. It's tough because it features a lot of black and white Pokemon, of course. However, if you're not into black and white Pokemon, you're not going to be really into these sets. If we look at Blackbolt, I mean, you have the Victini, the Zekroms, Seismitoad. I'm not sure what the fuss is about Seismitoad, but those top three cards are pretty awesome. And then for White Flare, you have the same thing, Victini, the Full Art Reshirams, the Hydreigon is awesome. So there's definitely a lot going for this. However, you're missing the really big name Pokemon to be in this set. There's no Zards or Mewtwo's or Evolutions or nothing. You're relying solely on black and white Pokemon, which isn't a bad thing, but like I said, if you're not into the black and white era, you're probably not going to be into this set, but I still think it should go up higher on the B tier list. All right, so for Mega Evolution, I mean, this is all speculation here because these sets here are not even out yet, but Mega Evolution, I'm going to go ahead and put in the A tier list. I think it's going to do well. I mean, you have Pokemon like Lucario and Venusaur and Gardevoir. You have a couple others in there, like Kangaskhan. You have the unique all gold cards at the end that have a very unique design on them. I'm not sure how well they'll do, but they look pretty awesome. So I think I think you can justify putting this in the A tier for right now from what we've seen. And then Phantasmal Flames, I believe, will be an S tier set. And I haven't even seen the cards in this set. But the fact that it's a Charizard and Gengar themed set, how can you go wrong? How can they mess this up? They won't, folks. This is going to be an S tier set. I don't even need to see the cards coming out to know that. Folks, what'd you think of my tier list? Did you hate it? Did you not like it? I don't know. It's all right. It's my opinion. You let me know what you think, folks. I think I made reasonable opinions for each of these sets and where they went. But let me know in the comments, folks. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And that's all I got. I'll catch you in my next one.